And welcome back to No Free Drinks. This is Wesley, and we are gathered here today to talk about
Is this church?
friend zone. That's right, motherfucker. We are in we're going to preach
about what today?
Preach about being friend zone in this bitch. All right. So, what is the official definition of being friend zone? I will read it to you. According to Wikipedia, it says, in popular culture, the friend zone is a situation in which one member of a friendship wishes to enter into a romantic or sexual relationship while the other does not. It is generally considered to be an undesirable or a dreaded situation by the rejected person.
Well, I guess rejection is in the eye of the beholder in that one.
The hell?
And then in terms of pop culture for all you 80s and 90s babies, think of Steve Urkel and Laura.
God damn.
That was bad.
That was bad. Or Screech and Lisa Turtle, where Zach and I'm getting the girl anyway. So
damn, Zach got the butt cheeks before the dude that was trying hard as hell got it.
He was trying too hard. He deserves that shit.
Yeah, man. Where's that guy now?
Now he's an asshole and fat, I believe. So.
I guess that's one way to get out the friend zone. All right. So let me tell you a situation about young Wesley out here in these streets, not knowing a damn thing about getting with girls or anything like that. So there's this girl. We're going to call her High School Vicky. Actually, no. Fuck that. We're going to call her Hood Rat Vicky because she was a fucking hood rat. So I tried to get with this hood rat chick and I bought her gifts. Like okay. To all you guys, I was actually working at the local supermarket at the Wallbounds near my high school. And yeah, to give you a picture of what I did, I used to push carts outside. No matter if it was raining, if it was windy, if it was hot as fuck outside, I had to push carts and mop the floors. I wasn't even a cashier. Shit sucked ass. I was working for $6 an hour. The shit was awful. But anyway, at this point, I'm a junior in high school, and I see this girl, hood rat Vicky, because, Vicky's a hood rat now. And, I'm talking to her and things are going good. I actually, was kind of brave as a kid because I said that I liked her. I told her that I liked her, but she kind of laughed it off a little bit. So that should have been my first dead giveaway.
As in, you said, "Hey, I really like you," and her immediate reaction was her just bursting.
Not bursting in laughter, but kind of giggling and shit, but not really saying if she was feeling me or not. Look. Back then,
so
yeah.
Even at that moment, you should have known.
Yeah, I should have known. But I'm 15, 16 years old. I don't know any fucking better. So, think of if anybody watches Insecure, I'm Issa Rae. I'm the black version. I'm the black guy version of that. All right, think of that, and then black guy. That's me.
Issa Rae's awesome, though.
Yeah, she's awesome. But back
debatable.
Yeah. Back then, that wasn't, something that was cool out there to be a weird individual. So, I used to give her gifts. This is when
Wait. You said gifts multiple times. Okay. Now, what kind of gifts?
Nothing too crazy, but it was just I remember buying her sneakers one time.
Damn.
Oh.
I remember buying her something from Build-A-Bear.
I remember Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
These are some intense gifts.
Yeah. Still got no play or nothing.
And you weren't going to because you bought her more than one gift.
Yeah, I know. I thought the more gifts that I got, it would lead into something. So I end up finding out probably during the senior trip, because I didn't go to senior trip, that she ended up hooking up. When I say hook up, I mean she had sex with one of the football players on the team. So yeah, that's how I turned a big positive into a big negative. And it wasn't and you're probably asking yourself, how did I know this? How did you know? Because you weren't there. So, you always had your jocks and you had the nerds, you had some of the cool kids or whatever. And you had there's different crews, right? So I would say that, if we had to compare that into real life, I was like a liaison. So like I would hang out with the cool kids sometimes, and I would hang out with the nerds sometimes. I would hang around with the jocks a little bit. So I was like, I was like a liaison. I was
you
the
were
a
little social butterfly.
Yeah.
So much for being awkward.
Yeah. But I was still pretty awkward though, in my own way. So, and it was just like those groups of people were telling me the same thing. Like at the same, I wouldn't even mention it, but like, yo, we need to talk to you. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. She went up to his room and did this and this, that. I'm like, how you know? Because we saw her go in there when the teachers weren't looking around, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that ends that one. I said I was a junior. It was senior year. This wasn't junior year. To pardon my my mistake. I mentioned that it was a junior year, but it actually was senior year. So yeah, it was really bad. And I learned at that moment with that situation, don't believe what the fuck you see on TV. What I was seeing on TV was like, if you're nice enough, if you're cool enough, blah, 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 it's going to happen. And the shit didn't happen. Well, let's fast forward 16 years later. She's popped out about 3 kids and she's still pretty much a hood rat. So crisis averted. I kind of lucked out on that one. That's how you turn a negative at this point into a positive.
Well, you skirted something, but you still put in a lot of effort and time and money, not to mention money.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. So at this point, this is 2 years ago. I was in Toronto. She hits me with can I borrow some money from you? I hadn't talked to this bitch in 15 years. Like, she's hit me with can I borrow some money because my kid's a blah, blah. I'm like, where's the baby daddy and all this shit? She's like, he's not around. Well, what makes you think that I'm going to give you fucking money?
Oh, she had you in that lifetime friend zone.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
You were always going to come to her rescue.
Yeah. Crazy as hell.
Friend zone Rolodex.
Damn. I mean, it's easy to take advantage of a guy that, and this is going to sound really mean, but whatevs, that's just being too fucking nice and is trying way too damn hard. So, I mean, I've done it a couple times where I had a guy that literally I would ask him to buy me lunch. And this was in high school as well. And he would have to walk at least maybe like half a mile to buy me something, but he would legit go and buy me lunch and bring it to me.
Jesus, that's that Diddy the band stuff. Go get me sugar cookies.
Walk across this bridge and go get me a slice of cheesecake. What the fuck?
And I would take advantage of it. Like, I knew that it was a situation where he really liked me and he was always really nice, and anything that I asked him to do, he would do it. And I would just have to do the bare minimum. Sometimes I just had to like smile a lot and like laugh at his jokes and like occasionally maybe sit down next to him at the lunch table. Or if I was not in the mood, I would pretend that I was too busy and that we couldn't hang out. And he was always there. He was available. It was easy. And like anything that I needed, he would just do it. So it's a situation where it's not just the girl's fault. It's not just the woman's fault or the person that's doing the friend zoning, but it's also the other individual's responsibility to identify that they're being messed with and played with. So it's unfortunate that it happens, but I know that women do it all the time and take advantage of the situation because I've definitely done it a few times.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it takes 2 people to engage in that, and that's where you got to protect yourself. You got to don't just take it at face value. So my story is a little bit more recent, but not as bad as Wesley's, luckily. So I'm not the most patient person. So my usual rule of thumb, if I'm dating someone, is 3 dates or 2 weeks, whichever comes first. So I was dating Vicky.
Hey.
So Vicky lived locally, and we met via Hinge, which you guys remember is one of those dating apps out there. And this is late last year when they had revamped it. So they gave like that promo premium for like 3 months. So like you just got unlimited swipes. I was just going ham. I was like,
you were milking it.
I was like, all right, cool. I got 3 months to just get as much.
As you were taking a shit.
Hey, 2 for 1 special. And so we matched. I think the first day, I believe, was drinks. It was like nice and light, nothing crazy. I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
Second date, I believe, was also drinks, but this time with food. Third date, I believe we saw Moonlight. Weird date movie idea. Like,
wait, you went to see Moonlight?
Yes, it was her idea.
What the fuck?
But I'm like trying to get some cheeks. I was like, sure, let's see Moonlight. This is the weirdest date idea ever. It was a good movie. It was probably a movie I wanted to see by myself or with a group of friends. It was like so emotional and powerful. So I'm like, eh. So another couple dates go by. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I smell whiff of Friend Zone here. So the following day, so it's like the fifth or sixth date, just straight to the point. I was like, I feel like I'm a gay boyfriend. She was like, and she tried to like play dumb, like, oh, why do you think that?
Stop it, chick.
She was trying to keep you around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a veteran in this game. You're not gonna fool me with this bullshit. So I start like listening to everything. I'm like, we hang out like once or twice a week. You're the one that's usually initiating, but I'm cool with that. I want to see where things go. And I'm like, yeah, like, all right, so what's your intentions in this? And then she was still kind of like beating around the bush. And then in my head, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll go on this last date. If I don't get cheeks by the end of this night, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So we go out, clubbing, got back, smashed at her house. So all's well, that ends well.
There we go.
And then, so then hooked up for like another couple of months. So it wasn't as bad, but yeah, like if I didn't put my foot down and be like, hey, like what's going on? Because like I want things to go a certain way, but she's obviously knows what she's doing to keep things going the way she wants to go it. So unless both people come together and talk it out, then it's going to stay as is.
So I guess what was, other than the fact that you have your 3 dates, 2 weeks rule, was there anything else that was like a glaring sort of like sign that, oh shit, I'm getting friend zoned, so let me say something?
It was most of the dates or scheduling kind of operated around her schedule. That's usually a sign. Like if it's one-sided, you're probably in a friend zone. Like, it shouldn't be like always, oh, I'm free Saturday. Cool, I'm not free Saturday. Cool, we could do next week then. Like, it should never be where it's always the one person suggestion for either venue or time or the type of activity. It should be kind of a 50-50. And I knew that going in, but like, I think we talked about in this early episode, like once you start investing time, you start making up excuses.
Right.
Yeah, so just hang in there, Brock, and then it worked out in the end. But yeah, that was kind of a giveaway with the whole scheduling. I was like, yeah.
That's interesting though, because normally when I've friend zoned someone, they would have never really made it back into they wouldn't have gotten out of the friend zone. So there must have been something within the interactions that you guys were having that you were kind of towing the line between, hey, I'm going to friend zone him, or hey, let me see where this goes.
Nah, he was being direct as fuck.
But I think the fact that you said something about it actually pushed it to go in the other direction, where it was like, okay, do you think that you had ever at any point given off this appearance of a nice guy that she could have taken advantage of?
No. That died a while ago. Yes.
So it wasn't the whole nice guy facade or even, because you've said multiple times, I'm not a nice guy. I don't consider myself a nice guy. But I guess in this situation, I'm just wondering what it was that she was really waiting for her to actually, seal the deal with you.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I guess I hate ultimatums, but I guess I kind of gave an ultimatum, like without really saying it was an ultimatum. I'm like, all right, cool. I brought it up. Now it's up to you what you want to do. And then it worked out. But no.
Yeah, because it's just interesting. The people that I friend zone would have never gotten out of the friend zone. They wouldn't have been people that I would have wanted to be sexually involved with. And most times when I friend zone someone, it's because I don't find them attractive from a physical standpoint, but they might have a great personality. We could be friends. And I'm just taking advantage of the fact that they're willing to do a little bit more than a normal friend would do.
Man, that's some bullshit.
How's that bullshit? That's the whole, that's the guy putting himself out there, or at least in my situations. I'm pretty sure it happens in the opposite way as well, like where women get friend zoned. But in my situations, once you're in the friend zone, you're in the friend zone. You're not coming out of there. I'm not going to come back and try to retrieve you. We can be friends because that's why you're in the zone. But outside of that, you don't get out of there.
Man, that's why you be mean to these motherfuckers, yo.
But it's nothing to do with being mean. But we'll get to that. But it's more of, for me, it's not that, oh, this person has been nice or has been mean. It's either this person has a great personality and I find them attractive and we can fuck, which means they get elevated from friend zone to perhaps friends with benefit zone, which I think is another thing too. It's like where you've met someone that is attractive enough and you think that they're going to put it down on you and you're excited for it. You're getting wet and stuff and you're anticipating having sex with them, but they're not the type of person that would ever be relationship material in your eyes.
I don't know. So maybe that's what she thought about me. I was in relationship material. I mean, that was mutual though, so I didn't mind that. I just minded not getting cheeks. And then to go back to your earlier point about how it probably also happens to women, I feel as though it happens a lot less to women getting friend zone.
Like, otherwise, a guy wouldn't even be fucking with you like that.
Right, but then it's not, maybe women don't get friend zoned, but they do get friends with benefit zoned, where they're just a fuck buddy.
Yes, I agree with that. I feel as though men get, heterosexual men get friend zoned a lot, and heterosexual women get friends with benefit zoned a lot as well.
So it's more of this, it's a stage where I think men are perhaps less strict about who they have sex with, as long as you're getting off.
We're hunter-gatherers.
That's a fair assumption, yeah.
Whereas women are more, there needs to be some sort of attraction. You need to at least have a big dick or
money.
Or money. Money trumps all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's not generalize, because some of us in here do not go after money when it comes to men.
Okay.
Because I have my own. Thank you very much.
More power to you, but there's a lot out there who don't have their own.
I mean, I done told you some stories about some chick that tried to fleece me, so.
Well, I mean, you did bring up the whole money thing. So for some women, it is a thing, but it's not a generalization.
No, I wouldn't generalize.
No, I wouldn't generalize like that,
right.
no.
It's just a good amount.
Yeah.
That shows who you go after. But at the end of the day, I think it's for men, it's more of an intangible. It's like, well, the looks are awesome if they're there, but if they're not there and she's willing to have sex, your guys are you're up for that. Like, that's fair game. Whereas,
also a fair assumption.
Right. Whereas
I'm neither confirming nor denying this, but keep going.
But for women, the attraction has to be there. Rumors of being great in bed or giving awesome head or having a big dick, like all these things need to be there. So either you're going into the situation because you've heard that they're a good lay, or there's somebody that you're just attracted to and you want to have sex with. And if it's not either of those two buckets, obviously it's somebody that you consider relationship material. So you're probably typically going to find that woman's going to prolong when they have sex with you.
So you mean like settle? That's basically what you said in that last point.
What do you mean?
Like, all right, let's use the pop culture thing again. Like Laura and Steve Urkel. When did they get it together? The last season of Family Matters. How many years was that? That was like 15 years.
That was a lot. This man built a machine to change himself into Stefan. He was still in the friend zone for a while.
Yeah.
No,
he gave up. He gave up the Myra chick.
Oh,
Myra
yeah.
chick I thought was hotter.
I thought she was way hotter. Rest in peace, Myra.
Yeah.
I thought she was way hotter.
Yeah. But that's
different.
me.
So that's not what I was referring to. What I was referring to is that when you meet a man, he's going to fall into one of three buckets. One, he's going to be a friend. So he's gotten in the zone.
All right. Platonic.
He was zoned.
Yeah.
Two, you want to have sex with the man.
All right. He's busting nuts.
Right. But that could be either as a potential boyfriend or your boyfriend.
Okay.
Or it could be as like somebody that you want to be friends with benefits with. Right. Like you don't see them they're not relationship material. They don't have relationship potential. So you just have sex with them. Their sole purpose is just to fuck. That's it.
There we go.
And then what I'm saying is that other person that you do want to have sex with, you want to do it under the right circumstances, as in like they're in a relationship with you. which is when I said that in that situation, women will sometimes delay when they have sex with him because they want to make sure that they're being taken seriously.
Yo.
Wait, so you're
kinda,
hold on. So you're saying that men can get out of the friend zone?
Men can get no.
Okay.
No, if you're in the friend zone,
That's
you're in
it.
the friend zone.
Okay, good. All right.
No,
So-
like friend zone, there's no sexual desire.
Okay, yeah. So that's just
I'm just
black
saying.
holes of void. Like you're just stuck. Like,
Yeah, what I'm saying is that depending on who the woman is, this is not my approach, but is an approach that I'm quite familiar with, is that they will wait to have sex with the man that they want to be with.
so they say.
So you claim.
Not my approach. I've never waited to have sex with a man. Well, after I became an adult. Before becoming an adult, I guess you could say that I did.
Yeah.
But in my adult life, I have never made myself wait to be with someone because I didn't think that they were going to accept me as a serious relationship girlfriend material.
I feel like that's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
But it happens. I mean, but that's part of like societal judgment on women sleeping around too much, or men saying some men. I don't think all men are like this,
Nah,
but some men will
We
not.
definitely like that, but
Some men won't consider a woman to be girlfriend material if they had sex with her too soon.
damn.
Give me your man card right now. Really?
That's what women are afraid of. Women are afraid to be put in the non-serious bucket because they had sex too soon.
I got nothing to say about that
Yeah.
one. That's yo.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. So on the flip side of
Topic for another day.
yeah. So on the flip side of being friend zone, I guess some of the opposites is bad boy appeal, a bad boy. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, just because usually the bad boy does not get placed in the in the friend zone.
Yeah, he's the one that the woman is calling the guy in the friend zone to talk about.
Basically.
Yeah. So remember I talked about the woman wanting to have sex with the guy, like desiring to have sex with the guy. I feel that a lot of bad boys just have a reputation that either other women talk about or other guys talk about, and they have this overall approach where it's just enticing and you want to know more about it. And it's kind of crazy because the bad boy appeal typically means that you're going after a guy that's toxic, emotionally unavailable, and they're not actually going to give you what you're looking for if it is that you're looking for a relationship. So it's just kind of crazy. I've never been with a bad boy with the intentions of being in a relationship with him because I know better. And they're usually the dudes that I just want to fuck. And it's never going to be more than a friends with benefits situation. But it's interesting because I do know a lot of people that find themselves in that situation where they're dating someone that's not a healthy relationship. They're not treating them well. They're not consistent. And they just stay around, and sometimes for long periods of time.
For me, like, I think that the story that I told you guys, what it taught me to be was like to use the truth as a weapon. Like, I wield that sword when shit goes south, like Brock. Man, I start telling the truth like there's no tomorrow. Like,
Start singing.
I start singing like a canary. Like, oh yeah, that's how you feel. All right, well, this is how I feel about it. Usually, I hit so low that like it's just like a done deal, but whatever. But I use the truth. I'm just direct as I possibly can be, because I don't like small talk, for number one. So that's like one thing that I'm just not with it. Another thing is just like when it comes to, you know, being that nice guy, I always, you know, because I know how I am. I'm just very, I wouldn't say nice, but I'm very.
You're a gentleman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're raised right.
Yeah, so that's who I am, but I'm also direct too. So I try to be as honest as possible and use the truth as a weapon if I can. So just to, you know, just to take away any doubt that you thought that I was going to be a nice guy to you and you was going to get all this shit. Think again, motherfucker. Like that's not happening.
Well, it's so. Have you ever used the bad boy image to your advantage? Then,
100%.
Oh yeah,
Why not?
In the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could say that I have. Nothing comes to mind, but I'm sure I have done it once or twice though.
So you purposely had to turn something on, like you were
More like turn something off, which is like, that considerate person, the considerate side of me, just turn that off, just all the way off. Just be a dick the whole time. Just be a jerk, or kind of a jerk,
and that's worked.
Or be as savage as I possibly can be, and it's worked to my advantage sometimes. It has worked. You wouldn't believe like how many people respond to the whole, oh, why you got to be so savage for it? Yeah, well, that kind of sucks, but I don't care.
And it makes no sense that works.
It really doesn't.
Same way Just a Tip works. Like, how does it still work? Like,
well,
this somehow that works as well.
Just think of, you have. I'm trying to think. Just think of when Justin Bieber was a kid, and the way Justin Bieber was circa a year and a half ago. That man couldn't push these chicks away with a stick if he had to, man. That's how much they were flocking around him, because he had gotten he made himself into this persona of this bad boy. We all know Justin Bieber's soft as fucking horse shit. But when it came to
well, it's true. It did keep Selena Gomez around.
Hell yeah. You see how long she was around before she just said, finally, I can't deal with this Justin guy, blah, 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 this, that, whatever. Now think of Jail Bay. Everybody remember Jail Bay?
Yeah.
You remember Jail Bay? You remember? I know you remember Jail
he
Bay.
was fine.
Yeah, Jeremy Mix. See, exactly.
Yeah,
Jeremy
he was fine. He had the blue eyes and had all those tattoos. He was in jail. Like, this is my thing that always gets me. So Jeremy Meeks was in jail for trafficking humans. Think about that shit.
I think I forgot that piece.
And chicks was like, oh, he's so fine, blah, blah. This motherfucker will sell you. Are you kidding me?
And he was married, so they just do everything.
Married.
So traffic humans, you married, guy for kids, like, don't care.
And now he's what, hooking up with like a billionaire or some shit?
Yep, the top shop here is Chloe Green. So
my God.
He went from fell into modeling gig.
Yeah, now this is you want to know the true American story? This is it. This is the American dream right here. You're gonna be a dickhead and still win out here in these streets.
I'm so jealous. I was like, damn.
God.
It's crazy though, because and this is where the whole generalizations that I'm going to have to reference, which I don't like referencing, but if there's enough sources, sometimes you have to reference it. But it's the whole being emotional about things. And I think in that case, it's like you see somebody that's very attractive. You want to be with them. You want them to give you attention. And then they give you a little bit of attention. And instead of you thinking, okay, well, this is not what I really want, because I've been saying that I want somebody that's consistent and that's going to treat me like a lady and do this and that.
That's bullshit.
Well, that's what you say you want, but you have someone that's giving you the complete opposite of that. They're giving you attention on their terms. They're inconsistent with when they're reaching out to you. They're not willing to necessarily give you the title. They're just messing around with
and
you.
The ladies love it, because you know what? Because whenever we hear our friends talk about it, they're like, "Oh my God, he's such this, he's such that. Why are you fucking with him then?" But blah blah blah, making up excuses.
And it's the same story next week, same story to follow.
That's exactly
next time
what I'm saying. So biologically speaking, the way that our bodies work is that inconsistent attention actually makes somebody more attractive.
Why? Because you make up stories in your head?
Because you actually get these like ups and downs of spikes hormonally with when you associate something with pleasure and happiness, which is completely fucked up, because at the end of the day, you're not really happy. You're just getting sort of this side effect of how your brain perceives pleasure. And what I'm saying is that that's being too emotional. You're not being rational. So my whole advice here is that a lot of us would benefit from, and this is men and women alone, because we're talking about men that have been friend zoned, that are investing all this time, that are probably borderline in love with these women that they're going after and spending all this money, spending all this time, and they're not getting what they truly want. They're just being used. And then you have women that go after this bad boy persona, and they're not getting what they really want either. They're just getting tidbits of what they hope for. And both of them are wasting their time with somebody that's not considerate of their feelings. So rationally, both of those groups of people, the dudes that are being friend zoned and the women that are like messing around with the bad boys, they just need to cut it out and rationally say, hey, I'm not happy. I'm not getting what I really want. And I need to walk away from this situation, or at least have a conversation and be clear about what I want. And if you're not going to give me what I want, then we part our ways.
Can't agree more. I don't know. Maybe it's our human nature to just like projects. Like the man on one side who's in the friend zone, like, oh, yeah, start day one. I'm going to do this tomorrow, do this next week, do this next month. Just, I don't know, just a project. And then women on the other side, like, okay, cool. He's a bad boy, but I'm going to get him to settle down and do all this stuff. No, you're not. He's a professional at this. You're going to get your heart broken again. Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. The whole project appeal, where you can fix the guy and you're the one that has this lasting impact on him, and he stopped being a bad boy and he settled down because you were the one that did that. I think a lot of women draw pride from that. And quite honestly, they need to stop drawing pride from that.
But you know what's insane to me, though? Like, let's say if you get that man to change, right? Let's say he draked out on you. He was like, if you're a good girl and you know it, you act so different around me. Like, fuck all that, right? But let's say you did that, right? You've already taken away all the attraction that you had from him in the first place. So why the fuck would you want to do that? Why would you change this guy? Isn't the appeal of the I'm just me being logical here.
That's like a good question.
Holy shit, mind blown.
Yo,
wow.
why the fuck would you want to change the person that you were already attracted to begin with that was doing the bad shit? That don't make no fucking sense.
That is so true.
That's me.
And that's why I think that many times people just end up in dysfunctional relationships, because you have expectations of something that's never going to happen. And then when it happens, you're still not happy, because then you have that, like, you've turned the bad boy into a nice guy, and he's become, like, if you manage to do that, which I guess that's happened. Has that happened in history before? I don't know.
Think so. And then even if you somehow do, is temporarily, he's going right back.
I don't know. Let's just say it happened. It was like a glitch in the system or some miraculous miracle.
Game of Thrones era.
Yeah.
That Jon Snow type of shit. You know, he was brought back to life. Something like that happened. But if that happened, what our brains will do is that you'll just get tired of it and you'll go out and seek something else.
For real.
So that's, again, it's like we need to stop being so emotional about certain things and allowing ourselves to be more logical, but also, as you're being logical, making sure that you're communicating with that other person. So whether you're the guy that's showering this girl with like flowers and gifts, and actually after, I don't know, like whatever, I guess you guys use 3 dates, 2 weeks, whatever that rule is, whatever you're comfortable with.
Me, it's 3 dates. I spend under $50. I don't go out with single moms.
Oh yeah, I got the no single mom rule too.
No single moms. What else? I don't tolerate any like phone calls during the day. I don't care if God's calling you. You better not answer that phone call. If you do, I'm out. So that goes back to the single mom thing. You know, babysitter calling them. Look, I ain't with all that shit. I'm done. I'm out the door.
Those are your standards.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I have standards. I would never want to date a man that has kids. Ever. Yeah. Like, no. That's my standards. I'm sticking to that. So I can respect that. But just having those parameters of what you're comfortable with and making sure that you're making them known to the other person so they're not taking advantage of you.
Right.
And the thing is, like a woman, like I think in your case, Brock, a woman that's teetering, having that conversation is probably actually going to push her in a direction to make a decision.
Right. Whether
it's in your favor of smashing or in the favor of you guys just going your separate ways because you're not looking for friends. No new friends.
No new friends.
So I think having that conversation pushes them. And then in terms of the bad boy, I mean, I don't know. The bad boy one's a little bit trickier because he could totally say whatever the fuck he wants and still convince you to stay around.
He's probably a smooth talker.
Smooth operator.
So do you...
Probably a Libra.
So do you have advice for women to deal with bad boys? Like, how can they get away from that? And how can they, like, what are some of the signs you guys point out that they should look out for?
Well, it's not so much the signs. It's really so much like, you got to know what you want. Like you mentioned it before. You can't be like, oh, well, you know, this guy's not treating me right, blah, 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 and this way. And you tell him, stop, don't tell her stop, don't do this. What are you doing to yourself? And then go around and be like, well, I think he's going to change, blah, blah, blah. Look, you're wasting my time and your time. Shut the fuck up, right? So...
Damn.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's time is wasted on me giving advice that goes nowhere. It's in one ear, out the other.
That's so true.
Just stop. Like,
that's a lot of girlfriend conversations too.
Yeah, like you're killing yourself. Like, I could have been playing video games and you come at me with this bullshit. Like, you distracted me from playing video games. We already know what you're gonna do. And now I've openly said it to women, like, you already know what you're going to do. Why are you asking me for this? This is advice that I cannot give you. So I would say that, look, I like this word, but I always use it because people don't do this a lot. Look introspectively, like really see what you want within yourself and put that out there into the universe. And you'll get that. If you keep complaining about the stuff that is wrong within your relationship and you're not doing anything really to change it, let's say if you do change it, then fine. But if you're not going to, what's the point? Like, move on. Like, just shut the fuck up and just move on. How about that? That's it. I don't know. I know that sounds harsh as fuck, but that's Wesley. I keep it real.
Yeah, I'd probably say the hardest but simplest thing to do is just come up with a set of rules, quote unquote, beforehand.
Bingo. Yep.
Because if you go into it just all wishy-washy, you're just going to keep making excuses for him. So be like, okay, I want someone who texts me within the same day, not every 3 days. Or I want someone who's available to go out with me once a week. Like, set up whatever you want in a relationship or friends with benefits or whatever it is. Set that up beforehand, not while you start dating. So you're going to be like, well, he's probably busy. Oh, well, he's probably that. And then you're just going to keep making excuses, and bad boys they're perfected. This is a craft. So they're going to eat that up. You're probably not the only one they're working. So it's like, just come up with your standards beforehand and stick to it. No exceptions. I think that's a big problem we have. Like, we come up with rules and then
break them.
Break all of them. So it's just pointless.
Yeah, because we don't see the cues. So
come up with rules, stick with them. You'll be so much better off. And, even better one. Stop asking your girlfriends for advice about guys.
Thank you.
You have at least one male friend. Ask your male friend, is he running game on me or whatever? Like,
that's a good one.
Your girlfriends are not going to give you good advice.
No, they're not.
We know the game. We can tell you. So if we're actually friends, I'm going to put you up on game because I don't want you to get hurt. So just find one or two trusted male friends, because maybe you're a private person. You don't want to blab it to everyone. Just find one or two. A brother, a cousin, a friend from school, friend from work that you're really close with, but find a male friend or two.
For real.
Girlfriends are not helping you out. They're probably just as miserable. Misery loves company. Stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
I was actually about to say that right after what Wesley said, and it's because, Wesley, you have been there. You have been that male voice with a lot of female friends.
Oh, most definitely.
And I'm a big advocate of girls going to guys for advice on guys, because half the time girls are going off their own experiences,
or them stupid fucking Cosmopolitan magazines. Come on,
that magazine really
it's
doesn't
an
help.
echo chamber. You're just gonna hear what you want to hear.
So I'm super excited that you said that as the guy instead of me saying it, because usually girls don't always listen to their girlfriends. They just want to talk about it. So and it's just
like good chat. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same shit again.
I'm gonna do the same shit, and I was like, did you listen to what I said the past 5 times? Like, I guess not. But no, that's a good point. And I think as in tips for the nice guys in the room and for the guys that are getting friend zoned, I would just say that you just need to know what you really want to, and not necessarily be overly generous about everything. Don't make yourself too available. Don't be super, and this is going to, like, I know this isn't helpful, but super nice, and don't wear like everything, your emotions and how you feel on your sleeve.
Yeah. Because
you will be taken advantage of by women that don't have the same intentions of being like that with you.
That's true.
And then you're just going to get hurt, and then you're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of resources. And at the end of the day, you'll be a good friend that she goes up to, but that's not what you want. And you could be spending your time finding a woman that actually wants you to be in a relationship with. So that's what I would say. it's just be cautious. Don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. Don't be super nice. I think you have to be a gentleman and considerate, but at the same time, you have to have a little bit of edge to you.
Yep.
And you have to be confident. If you're not confident, you're going to get walked all over.
That's true.
Agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because, yeah, nice guys are considered thirsty now.
Yeah, you can't be thirsty.
Yeah, nice guys are considered thirsty and all kinds of other stuff. The nice guys are even considered passive in the bedroom. Who knew?
I don't know.
Could you
where
imagine
that came from?
Community do come up to you, be like, "Hey, can you put your tongue on my phallus for me, please?" Could you imagine that shit?
If somebody asked me
Using
for
the
that,
scientific terms.
Yeah,
I can't.
Could
It's
you-
just that's just not sexy.
Could you? And
You have to be
He's all
sexy
nervous
with
and
it.
shaking and shit.
Would you please perform fellatio on me? Like, what?
Although
Motherfucker.
I am
What,
attracted to
motherfucker?
nerds though. So, but they have to be confident nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Confident,
Confident, assertive, mysterious.
Yeah. What a goddamn man to come up in there. Hit that shit. Anyway. All right, guys, let us know what you thought about our episode. And share your stories with us on being friend zoned at nofreedrinks@gmail.com, or you can use our contact us form at nofreedrinks.com.